Friday also brought one of the most direct public statements by a US president that I have ever seen since the Islamic Republic took over in 1979. The President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, posted on Truth Social that if the Islamic regime security forces continue to violently kill peaceful protesters, the United States would come to their rescue and that America was locked and loaded. This marked a clear escalation in Washington foreign policy when it comes to the Islamic Republic occupying Iran. We've now gone far beyond diplomatic support for the Iranian people. And I have a feeling that the Islamic Republic occupying Iran knows how serious President Trump is, especially given what happened back in the summer when President Trump destroyed the nuclear facilities of the terrorist Islamic Republic. The Islamic Republic occupying Iran responded to President Trump by threatening the safety and security of American soldiers if President Trump decided to step in to protect Iranian people who are currently being slaughtered by Islamic savages occupying the country of Iran. However, that's what they said in English. What you won't hear from the mainstream media is what they are saying in Persian. But don't worry, I got you covered. At the same time that the Islamic Republic is blaming the United States and Israel in English for the civil unrest, in Persian, it's a much different story. A Persian language video quickly began making the rounds on social media showing the president of the terrorist Islamic Republic, Pezeshkian, saying in Persian that America and Israel have absolutely nothing to do with the civil unrest and that it is their own fault. And so while you have all of these mouthpieces for the terrorist Islamic Republic who are out there in English claiming that the civil unrest has to do with the United States and Israel, the Islamic Republic itself has already admitted that everything that's happening in occupied Iran has absolutely nothing to do with Israel or the United States, and in fact, it's their own fault. But because it's in Persian, that's the language that we speak in Iran, because it's in Persian, you're not going to get that from the mainstream media, and the Islamists and jihadis who are gatekeeping information and who are promoting Islamic savages will keep that information from you because they do not want you to know the truth. Another interesting fact is that since the start of the protests back on Sunday, December 28, we still have not seen or heard from the supreme dictator of the Islamic Republic, Khamenei. Now on Friday, he did put out a speech where he said that rioters would be severely punished and put in their place. And while the Islamic regime media broadcast that message as if he was preaching to a crowd, many people who are familiar with watching his sermons actually think that it was pre-recorded and it was not a live message. I can't personally verify that one way or another, but that's a little piece of interesting context for you that you won't get in the mainstream media. And of course, in response to President Trump's warning to the Islamic Republic, saying that if they continue to murder innocent Iranian protesters, the United States will go after them and that they are locked and loaded, the Shah of Iran, His Royal Highness King Reza Pahlavi II, issued a response thanking President Trump for standing on the right side of history and standing with the Iranian people as they fight to overthrow the Islamic Republic that has been oppressing them for the last 47 years. By Saturday, January 3, it's full-on civil war. We're talking violent crackdowns, heavy security forces deployed across the country, anti-Islam, anti-Islamic Republic, pro-revolution, and pro-Shah demonstrations happening in over 70 cities across the country, and unfortunately, mounting casualties. Some of the victims are as young as 13 years old who have been shot and murdered by the terrorist Islamic Republic. But there's something different about what's going on right now. And while every single casualty is a tragedy to us Iranians, the fact that it's already day 7, we are seeing the biggest uprising against the terrorist Islamic Republic occupying Iran since 1979, right? It's pretty much civil unrest at this point, and yet by day 7, the number of casualties is still less than 100. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, guys. Because usually by day 7, the number of casualties at this point is in the thousands. So the fact that the number of casualties is less than 100, that's sending a signal to Iranians. That's letting them know that the Islamic Republic is weak. And the other thing to point out is that usually by day 7, the internet would have already been shut off. And yet it's day 7, literally 1 week, we are seeing the biggest, largest protests against the terrorist Islamic Republic occupying Iran. It's pretty much all-out civil war at this point, guys. It's all-out civil war. and yet the internet still has not been shut down.
Don't you think that
We've
has
heard
something to
reports
do
of
with the
internet
Mossad
connectivity
and
going
Moss?
up and down.
What?
There
I haven't
seems
been paying attention.
to be a battle for the internet, the same way that there is a battle right now happening on the streets. And remember how in my first video I told you that I think that there is someone
Okay, Mama.
or a group of someones
Booty
who are
Judy.
working behind the scenes in occupied Iran to make sure that Iranians have internet access so they can continue sharing information with the world about what's
Right.
happening in the country. Remember when I said that? Something very unusual happened on Saturday, and the most unexpected figure suddenly became a key player in the Iranian revolution. On Saturday, January 3, Khamenei, the supreme dictator of the Islamic Republic, posted on X that we will not give in to the enemy. Keep in mind, X, by the way, social media in general, is banned in occupied Iran. Regular Iranians cannot even access the internet or access X without using a VPN, because if they don't use the VPN, the Islamic Republic will find their coordinates, arrest them, and execute them.
Yes.
And yet Islamic Republic officials have free access to social media to promote their jihadi Islamic terrorist ideology. But here's where